Broadcasting live from the Meridics via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we welcome you to the final night of the opening week of the 2023 GNASH regular season. And we are bringing you the second losers bracket first round game in the Henry Hine Cup tonight. Tonight it is 7-seed Independence taking on 3-seed Hendersonville-Beech, as one of these two teams will be leaving the party in about an hour and a half's time. Independence being knocked into the losers bracket Monday night with a loss to Nolensville-Ensworth-Lipscomb, while Hendersonville suffered a heartbreaking overtime loss to Centennial on Wednesday night. So it's going to be a chance for Independence to pull off the upset here. The 7th seed in the Preds Cup is still alive. Father Ryan beat Franklin BGA on Wednesday night to stay in the dance. So we'll see if Independence can replicate that. However, if Hendersonville win, then next Wednesday night they will face whoever loses Monday's game between 1-seeded Outlaws and 4-seeded USN. So if Henderson will win, then it guarantees that next Wednesday a top 4 seed in both tournaments is going to be knocked out, because 4-seeded Brentwood have already booked their ticket to next Wednesday, and they will face the loser of Monday's game between 3-seeded MBA and 2-seeded Ravenwood. So a very interesting storyline in both tournaments could be developing, as both teams get the buzzer to come out onto the ice for the pregame warm-up. Let's go over the scores from this week so far in the opening week of the postseason. On Monday, all 4 first-round games of the Predators Cup were held. Ravenwood beat Father Ryan 8-1. Pope Prep CPA GCA beat Brentwood 2-1. Mount Juliet Green Hill Lebanon beat Rutherford Rampage 6-2. Montgomery Bell Academy beat Franklin BGA 3-2. And 3 of the 4 opening round games in the Hine Cup were held. USNBA Nashville Christian beat Summit Page 7-2. Nolensville-Ensworth-Lipscomb beat Independence 5-3. Tennessee Outlaws beat Station Camp Liberty Creek 8-0. On Wednesday night, in the final round, or the final game in the opening round of the Hine Cup, it was Centennial beating Hendersonville-Beech 2-1 in overtime. And there were 3 elimination games on Wednesday night. In the first elimination game in the Henry Hine Cup, Summit Page beat Station Camp Liberty Creek 7-6. So Station Camp end the season without winning a game. They didn't win a game in the regular season, and they go 2-0 in the Hine Cup. And in the 2 elimination games in the Predators Cup, it was Father Ryan, the 7-seed Father Ryan, beating Franklin BGA, the 6-seed, 6-0. Franklin won the only regular season meeting between them 7-2 back on December 5th. And, of course, they gave MBA a game back on Monday night. They actually scored the opening goal, so it's a big shock that they are knocked out this early. And Brentwood beat the Rutherford Rampage 8-4. So coming up in just a few minutes here on Rank B at Centennial, the Hine Cup elimination game between 7-seeded Independence and 3-seeded Hendersonville-Beech. Let's talk about the two teams playing tonight's game. First up, Independence, coached by Guy Brooks. Like I said, lost on Monday night to Nolensville-Ensworth-Lipscomb 5-3. So here are their playoff stats coming into tonight. Ben Howard has 2 points from goals, and Camden Rimo has a point from a goal. So Ben Howard has 2 points from goals. Camden Rimo has a point from the other goal. I'm not sure how none of those goals had an assist on them. That sounds weird to me, but whatever. Anyway, Independence played 2 goalies on Monday night. They started Trent Pavlik. He got the loss. Played just shy of 32.25 minutes. Goals against average of 6.51. He allowed all 5 goals on 11 shots. Turned away the other 6. His save percentage in the postseason so far is .550. Jack Behringer came in for nearly the last 10 minutes of the game and turned away all 10 shots that he faced. On to Hendersonville-Beech, coached by Carson Corley. Lost on Wednesday night 2-1 to Centennial in overtime. And the players' stats say that only Colin Smith is – and oh, wait a minute, they've corrected it. Okay, they corrected it. Colin Smith is a point from a goal, and Connor Smith is a point from an assist. According to the score sheet initially, that goal was unassisted, and I went back and listened to that play. There was no way it was unassisted to me. So Colin Smith is a point from a goal. Connor Smith is a point from an assist. Tree Garrison played the entire game, including all 4 minutes and 7 seconds of overtime. He played just over 46 minutes, goals against average of 1.2, allowed 2 goals on 23 shots, turned away the other 21. His save percentage in the postseason so far is .910. As we're down to the final minute of pregame warm-up, a little bit of league news. Yesterday, the league announced that the All-Star game, which was originally scheduled for February 28th, has been pushed back one night to March 1st, Wednesday, March 1st. It's still going to be in Bellevue, and it's still scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. But what this does now, this means that for the third straight year, the All-Star game is played on March 1st. It was played on March 1st, 2021, played on March 1st last year in 2022, and now it's going to be played on March 21st or March 1st, 2023. So a very weird little stat there about the All-Star game since it has become the season closer for GNASH. And by the way, I'm all for the All-Star game being a season closer. Used to be, a few years ago, we'd have the senior game and the All-Star game kind of within the same space near the end of the season or in between the regular season and start of the playoffs, or sometimes it was during the playoffs. And the important games of the regular season playoff games, you got to get those out of the way. If weather came in and forced stuff to be rescheduled, you'd have to reschedule everything. You'd have to reschedule any postponed regular season games. You'd have to postpone any rescheduled playoff games. And then you have to postpone the All-Star and senior games. So that's why they've started playing the senior game to kick off the year and having the All-Star game to close it, which makes a lot of sense. These two teams met on January 16th, so just a couple of weeks ago. Hendersonville won 5-3, I think. Let me check that. Yeah, 5-3. Hendersonville won 5-3. Tree Garrison going to start in goal for Hendersonville. Jack Behringer going to start in goal for Independence, as we await the Independence players to finish off their huddle at the bench. The 5 starters for Hendersonville are already out on the ice. And here come the 5 starters for Independence. For this first period, Independence will carry the puck towards me. Hendersonville will carry it away from me. As always on Rink B, I am standing behind the goal, which is actually closest to where the Zamboni is. It's also near these emergency exit doors. The benches are immediately to my right, and I'm closer to them, and the bleachers are to my left. They're further away. So the bleacher side is the far side, and the bench side is the near side in terms of perspective. Gavin Metter with a puck for Hendersonville, flips it way through the air towards the Independence blue line, but it's taken by Camden Rummo. Rummo, one of, I think, 10 or 11 Independence seniors, hoping that this game tonight is not his last. Puck in the Hendersonville zone. Jacob Giblin, a shot stopped by Garrison, and the puck went over his head and over the net. Off his stick, over his head, and over the net. He had both of Centennial's goals the other night were, I'll get to this in a moment. Here come Hendersonville in a rush. Shot from Connor Smith, I think, missed the net. Independence players tapping their sticks, so Behringer must have made the save. The view down at the other end is kind of obscured sometimes. Nate Luke with a shot in the left point that's hit a body in front. Goes behind the net. Camden Rummo trying to back in and out in front. Hendersonville come up with it. Ben Howard trying to clear. Rummo down low again, flips it through the air, and Luke catches it, backing up to center, so Independence get the puck out. Yeah, Tree Garrison the other night, the 2 goals by Centennial scored. Well, I'll hold up on here again because here's Connor Smith, left wing side of the Independence zone, passing across, and a shot stopped, and the rebound sent past the net. Initial shot came from Patrick Sullivan. I'm not sure who got the rebound off, as Independents are called for offside, and that play took the first minute and 47 seconds off the clock, so 12-13 to go in the first, and we don't have any goals on the board. So Tree Garrison the other night, both those goals for Centennial came unfortunately. The first goal, Alex Izamini had a one-timer into traffic from the center point. It hit something, came up in the air, landed right near the front of the net. Aiden Connect put it in, and then in overtime, Connect got off a one-timer from the left circle that Garrison muffed, and it went into the back of the net. As Hendersonville have a chance to go begging at the other end. Puck behind the Independence net. Oscar Dubon comes up with it. It's been a while since I've seen Independence. The last time I did an Independence game, November 16th, during the midseason round robin, when they lost to Father Ryan 4-3. They still had a chance to stay in Tier 1 going into the final night of play, but they lost to Centennial as Landrick Majewski gets off a shot in the left circle that's stopped and held onto by Garrison. They still had a chance to keep their place in Tier 1 in the final night of that round robin, but Centennial beat them 7-2. And on top of that, Rutherford beat Father Ryan to claim the last spot, meaning that all four teams switched. 11:34 to go in the first. No goals on the board yet. Draws to the right of Tree Garrison. One by Hendersonville, Justin Schaefer trying to pass it up the near boards. It's going to go for an icing. He passed it too hard, hoping that Ryan Moskoff could break out. Draw will be to Garrison's right again. Draw looked like it was won by Hendersonville, but turned over to Independence. Oscar Dubon putting it behind the net. Puck comes around. Now it's at the end boards. Jared Sheridan with it. Flips it out to center. Gage Salome sending it into the Independent zone where it is intercepted and carried out. Brought into the Indy zone by Ryan Hoverson. Puck taken off him in the Hendersonville inboards by Ryan Steno. Steno behind the net. Passing to Sheridan, who tried to get it off to Moskov. Puck sent towards the Hendersonville net, off the stick of Sheridan, and then a shot from Jacob Hill had to be turned away by Garrison. Puck suddenly came to the far post, and now here's Hill again on the right wing side trying to send it towards the net, but Justin Schaefer flicks it away with his stick. Here Independence controlling the puck again. It's out at center. Bryson Patton sending it back into the Hendersonville zone. Dominic Harpole with it. Passing to his left, and Steno, who clears. Now here's Connor Smith, left wing side of the Indy zone. Put it in front. Oh, but Merrick Mott whiffed on it. Puck had some loft, and he had to make a bunt attempt at it, but he missed. Puck back in the Hendersonville zone on the far side. Steno. Now Merrick Mott out at center. Sending it back into the Indy zone. Offside warning against Hendersonville. They have to clear the zone. And they do as the puck is brought out by Camden Romo. He's back in the Hendersonville end on the right wing side. Puck knocked off his stick, but he knocks it away from Nate Luke. Colin Smith now getting it around to the far, or Connor Smith getting it around to the far side. It looks like Merrick Mott is going to end up icing it. Yes, he does. 9:21 to go in the first. Still zip. As Independence look a little bit stronger in the early going. Draws to Garrison's right. Draw one by Independence, but it slides through center all the way back into the Indy zone. Ryan Hoverson has to chase it down. He's got Merrick Mott all over him, going around the boards. Now here's Oscar Dubon. Carrying it to center, passing it over, and offside go Independence. Ben Howard carrying the puck into the Hendersonville zone, but either Dubon or Jacob Giblin stepped in before him. Draws on the dot in front of the bleachers across from the Hendersonville bench. One by Hendersonville, puck backhanded in front of the net, but nobody in a white sweater could get to it. Puck still in the zone, though. Cole Ulrich passing to the slot. Now it ends up behind the net. That's carried out to the far boards. It's on the left half wall. Ben Howard trying to dig it out. He does. Puts it in space. Picked up by Dubon and carried out. Dubon knocked into the boards. Got the puck into the Hendersonville zone, but it's cleared out immediately. But then given back to Independence at center. Brought back in, and a shot hit the shin of Nate Luke, and he felt it. It was Landrick Majewski with a shot that hit Nate Luke at about the right ankle, and he went down for a moment. Puck back in the Indy zone, cleared out. Gavin Metter backhanding it ahead for Cole Ulrich. Banks it hard off the near side boards. Back into the Indy zone it goes. Picked up by Rummo, Camden Rummo. Flicking it ahead. Brought back into the Hendersonville zone on the right wing side by Dylan Rosardi. Rosardi, another senior, hoping tonight is not the last game for him. Gavin Metter with a puck now. He's a senior, hoping that tonight is not his last game. And puck back in the Indy zone. Oh, and Ryan Moskov from an odd angle near the left-hand side of the net shoots it over. And now the puck back in the Hendersonville end. Here's Rhett Gordon. Try to put it out in front. Nate Collier broke that up. He was trying to get it to Landrick Majewski. Puck carried out by Justin Schaefer. Schaefer into the Indy zone, getting off a shot that's turned away by Jack Behringer. Neither goalie's really had to do much so far as Indy get the puck down the ice. Icing waved off. Rhett Gordon is going to beat Ryan Muskov to it. And Jared Sheridan has it now. Sheridan trying to pass ahead. That's intercepted. Rummo back in the Indy zone, or Hendersonville zone on the right wing side. A shot, score! Camden Rummo with the interception at center. Carries it down the right wing, fires it into the right-hand side of the net. And it's the 7th seed Independence who jump out first. A 1-0 lead for the Eagles with 6:31 to go in the first. Here come Indy again. Chance for Bryson Patton, a shot. Gloved and held on to by Tree Garrison, at his left-hand post. Drawby to his left. Won by Hendersonville. But Indy get it. Puck out in front. Oh, and whiffing on a shot attempt was Patton. Connor Smith passing ahead to Colin Smith, who gives it away at center. Here's Evan McAllister now, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Trying to put it out in front, intercepted by Connor Smith. Smith backhanding it ahead to Colin Smith. Colin Smith taking off the puck. Connor Smith brought it into the Indy zone, but Merrick Mott had gone in ahead of him, so offside. 5:51 to go in the first, still 1-0 Indy. Draw is going to be on the dot. Oh, we got a penalty. Connor Smith sent to the box. I'm not sure what for. So Indy get the first power play of the game up 1-0 with 5:51 to go in the first. So they have a chance to go up 2-0 here. Draw's going to be to Garrison's left. Sorry, folks. Sometimes I hear a whistle for offside, and I think it's just for that. I don't know that they're calling a penalty. I try and be more careful and vigilant about that stuff. Camden Rummo, slap shot from the left point. Trying to get a deflection was Jacob Giblin. Hendersonville come up with it and clear. Rummo will chase it back down inside his own zone. It's out at center now. And back in the Hendersonville zone, Nate Luke. Trying to get it over to Gavin Metter. Now Luke with it on the near side. Sends it to center, but he gives it right to Rumo. So here come Indy again. A.J. Novak shooting with the right wing side off the glove of Garrison. It was a high shot, too. Garrison had to put the glove in front of his face. Meanwhile, I think it's Cole Ulrich sending the puck down to the Indy end on goal, and Jack Berenger having to make the stop there. Here's Wyatt Lutkins. Back into the Hendersonville zone. Nate Luke. Now Lutkins gets it back. Lutkins trying to come out in front. A shot stopped by Garrison, and he's covered up the rebound. Under a minute left in the power play for Independence. 49 seconds to go to be exact. 4:39 left in the first, still 1-0 Independence. Draw is going to be to Garrison's left. Won by Hendersonville. Nate Collier getting it around to the near side boards, but Dylan Rosardi trying to keep it alive as he battles with Merrick Mott. Puck in the left wing corner. Collier, whips it around to the far side. Held in Hoverson at the right point. He sends it back down the wall. Sheridan trying to clear. Held in Hoverson. Hands it off. Majewski up top. Rhett Gordon. Gordon over to Majewski. Majewski back up top. Gordon. A slap shot blockered away by Garrison. 10 seconds left of the man advantage for Independence. Dubon trying to pass to the slot. That hits Sheridan, and Merrick Mott is going to be able to clear and kill off the rest of the penalty. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up. They are back at even strength. But there is a hand in the air, and there's going to be a hooking call. And is it against Indy? Looks like it is. Yep, it is Oscar Dubon going to the box. So Hendersonville getting their first power play of the game. Trailing 1-0 with 3:45 to go in the first. Draw is to the right of Jack Berenger. Draw won by Independence. Turned over to Hendersonville, kept inside the zone. Gavin Metter moving along the blue line, passing to the left circle. Connor Smith, a shot, score! He had a screen, and he fires it into the back of the net. Hendersonville convert the power play in just 19 seconds to tie the game at 1 with 3:26 to go in the first. Draw one by Indy. They get it into the Hendersonville zone. It's cleared out immediately. Camden Rumo with it. Flips it through the air, back into the Hendersonville zone. Gavin Metter gets knocked down, trying to bring it out from behind his own net. Evan McAllister with a hit. Now here's Ryan Moskoff carrying it to center. Moskoff past the red line, dumps it into the Indy zone behind the net, picked up by Rumo. Rumo ahead for Jacob Hill, but it's kept alive and held in by Nate Luke, and he passes across to the left-hand post, but Moskoff gets knocked down by Rumo. Rumo clears it out on the far side. It's back in the Hendersonville zone. Puck sent around to the near side, held in at the left point. Ryder McDonald, his shot off a Hendersonville stick. Moskoff trying to go back the other way. Offside warning, and it is offside. He backhanded it over to his left in Caden Smith, but Moskoff stepped in the zone before Smith did with the puck. That draws the whistle. 2:22 to go in the first, still 1-1. Draws on the dot in front of the bleachers across from the Independence bench. Won by Independence. Jacob Giblin at center, backhanding it into the Hendersonville zone. He was just behind the red line, but they wave off icing. Puck now over on the far boards, cleared out. Here's Connor Smith. Smith, left wing side of the Independence zone. A shot stopped and held on to by Jack Behringer. Draws to the right of Behringer. Puck is behind the Indy net. Eagles have it. Passed ahead to Jacob Giblin. Giblin. Now Wyatt Lutkins inside the Hendersonville zone. Put it into the skates of Ben Howard. And Howard let it go off his skates to the end boards. Now it's over on the far side, and Henderson will get it out. Oscar Dubon with it at center. Got to wait for Howard to get back on side. He'll bring it back into the Hendersonville zone. Shot in the left wing side, blocked by Noah Collier. And the rebound cleared out of the zone. Here is Wyatt Lutkins going all the way back into his end. Pushed into the boards. Puck behind the net. Put out in front. And a shot from Connor Smith. I think might have gone over the net. Minute left in the first. Here's Camden Romo picking up the loose puck, carrying it out to center. Back into the Hendersonville zone. Right wing shot. Side a shot missed the net to the left of Garrison. Puck held in on the left wing side and carried back down the wall by Oscar Dubon, but then he gets knocked off it. Puck comes up to Majewski at the left point. His shot blocked. And then a rebound try is blocked and goes to the glass. Now Colin Smith ahead for Jared Sheridan. Sheridan left wing side of the Independent zone. Rounded defender. Takes a shot. Misses the net. Under 30 seconds left in the first period. The Eagles players applauding with their sticks, so Behringer must have gotten a piece of that shot. Here's Romo. Back into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing side. A shot hit the shins of Dominic Harpole and goes into the netting above the glass and out of play. 15.7 seconds to go in the first. Game tied at 1. Draws to the right of Garrison. Won by Indy, and a shot from the wall turned away by Garrison, the left wing wall. That was Rhett Gordon shooting it. Puck now in the right wing corner. There's a big tie-up for it. It comes loose behind the net. It comes out in front, but time runs out on the first. So a pretty competitive game so far. Camden Romo scoring the first goal for Independence. But a couple minutes later, Connor Smith got a power play tally to tie things up. So Independence and Hendersonville-Beech are tied at 1 at the end of 1 in this Hine Cup elimination game. Unfortunately, here on Rink B, the scoreboard does not have a shot counter, so don't know how many shots each team have gotten off. Hendersonville have not gotten off that many. Indy have more shots than them, but the number of shots they have is not many either. Jack Behringer still in goal for Independence. Trey Garrison still in goal for Hendersonville for this second period. Hendersonville will carry the puck towards me. Independence will carry it away from me. Again, the winner of this game will play the Outlaws USN loser next Wednesday night, while the loser of this game will be handing the jerseys in because their season will be over. Well, some of these guys might want to keep their jerseys in case they get voted into the All-Star game. Puck behind the Indy net. Merrick Mott put it in front. Misses Patrick Sullivan. Held into the slot by Gavin Metter, but he gets pushed. And Cole Ulrich, a shot from the slot turned away by Behringer. Now Ulrich again shooting in the right circle. Hit a body and went into the netting above the glass. .29 to go in the second. Game tied at 1. And we got a penalty against Indy. Okay. So Hendersonville on the power play. Game tied at 1. 13:29 left in the second. I'm not sure who's in the box for Indy. It's one of the guys who wears a yellow helmet. Draws to Jack Behringer's left. Draw one by Hendersonville, and Connor Smith's shot blocked. Now Merrick Mott passing up to the left point, and Connor Smith, passing across to the right wing side, and Gavin Metter, who tried to get it down to Colin Smith. Now it comes back up to Connor Smith at the left point. Now Cole Ulrich passing up to the center point, and Metter, top of the right circle, and Colin Smith. Now Metter again, top of the left circle, Connor Smith. Smith, a shot, stopped by Behringer. Rebound knocked away from the net, but held into the blue line by Metter. Now here's Colin Smith again, passing up top to Metter. Metter whiffed on the shot attempt, and Ben Howard takes the puck away and clears it. Metter catches up to it inside his own zone. Oscar Dubon looks like he's limping going back to the bench. Now here's Connor Smith back in the Indy zone. Left circle shot, blocked away by Behringer. Under a minute left in the power play for Hendersonville. As Camden Romo fires the puck through the air and out. Gavin Metter stuck his stick blade up as high as it could go and very nearly committed a high sticking, but it didn't touch his stick, so we're all good here. Jacob Giblin with a puck. Sending it back into the Hendersonville zone. 30 seconds left in the power play for the Commandos. Puck put out in front of their net. And Landrick Majewski trying to drop it back to Jacob Giblin in the spot. Puck taken away, or in the slot, excuse me. Puck taken away and brought back into the Indy zone by Hendersonville. Now Majewski's going to clear it out. Down to 10 seconds left of the man advantage for the Commandos. Metter with it. Ahead for Cole Ulrich, but swiped away from him by, I think, Jax Grayson. Penalty time against Independence is up. They're back at even strength. I didn't see who was in the box because they have now gone to the bench. Hendersonville bring the puck out of their zone. It's flipped through the air. Somehow didn't touch the Raptors. It's back in the Indy zone. Ryan Hoverson had a kick away from him. Justin Schaefer passing it down to the inboards, and Colin Smith got away from him. It's in the crease. Behringer trying to cover. Justin Schaefer took a whack at it, but Independence grab it and carry it out. Oh, there's going to be another penalty. It's going to be against Hendersonville this time. Colin Smith put out the stick going up the far side at center, and I think he caught Jax Grayson, and Grayson went down. And I didn't see what the referee signaled. 2 minutes for tripping. Okay. .47 to go in the second. Game tied at 1. Independence back on the power play. Draws to the right of Tree Garrison. Won by Indy. Camden Rumo left point. His shot blocked by the stick of Cole Ulrich. It goes out to center. It was sent back into the Hendersonville zone by Ben Howard. Touched up by Wyatt Lutkins for the offside. They're going to drop the puck right at center. Won by Indy. Ramo sends it back into the Hendersonville zone. It's picked up by Sheridan. Sheridan going to clear. Now Merrick Mott with a shot. Oh, hit the outside netting on the right-hand side of the Indy net. Wyatt Lutkins behind his own net battling with Mott, and then Mott goes into the back of the net and dislodges it. Play will continue as the official pushes the Indy net back into place. Meanwhile, there's Camden Rimo back in the Hendersonville zone. Shot, score! Rhett Gordon for the left circle. Fires it into the top corner on the left-hand side of the net to convert the power play and put Indy back in the lead. It's 2-1 Eagles with 10:01 to go in the second. Draw one by Hendersonville. Indy get it back at center. Now it's brought back into the Indy zone, and a shot from Gideon Drobnik. Stopped and held on to by Jack Behringer. Draws to Behringer's left. One by Hendersonville. Gideon Drobnik. Now Connor Smith at the end boards. Puck taken away by Landrick Majewski. Majewski ahead to Dylan Rosardi. Trying to get it over to Jacob Giblin at center. Now Connor Smith with it. Brings it back into the independent zone. Smith got around Hoverson but lost the puck. Catches back up to it at the end boards. Now leaves it at the end boards behind the net, but Hoverson sweeps it away from Colin Smith. Now Connor Smith with it again at the end boards, going around the back of the net. Passing it up to the right point, Gavin Metter. Now back down the wall for Connor Smith, tried to pass to the slot. And the puck cleared out by Dylan Rosardi. Here's Gavin Metter back in the Indy zone on the left wing side. Try to drop it back. Now here's Jacob Giblin. Sending it around the wall to the near side. Now to the left wing corner. Majewski will clear. Nate Luke grabs it at center. Waits for his teammates to get back on side. Carries it back into the Indy zone on the right wing side. Past the slot, a shot from Connor Smith turned away by Behringer. This is the best puck possession that Hendersonville have had in the game so far. Now Connor Smith on the right wing side. Trying to pass in front for Colin. A.J. Novak knocks it away, held into the blue line by Gavin Metter, and his shot hit a leg and went past the net. Drobnik now on the right wing boards. Sending it into the right wing corner for Connor Smith. Connor gets knocked off by Hoverson. Whoa, and then Bryson Patton almost stepped over him. They're going to call Connor Smith, for tripping. Connor Smith was down, and Patton looked like he was going to try and step over him, and Smith kind of put up the leg, and Patton went down. So he goes to the box, Connor Smith does, for tripping. 7:47 left in the second. Indy returned to the power play, up 2-1. Draw is to the right of Tree Garrison. One by Indy, but Camden Rimo is going to have to chase it down at center. He has it all, and then Cole Ulrich with a big hit that's going to draw a penalty. Oh, boy. Hendersonville are not doing themselves any favors here. Jack Behringer to the bench for the extra attacker. Here's Camden Rimo, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Puck sent back down the wall. Touched up by the Commandos. And here goes Ulrich to the box. roughing. So Independence will have a 91-second 5-on-3. 7:17 to go in the second. They're up 2-1 in this one. Draw to the right of Garrison, won by Independence. Here's a shot from the left point, and Camden Rumo gloved and held on to by Garrison. Draw will be to his right again. One by Indy again. Rumo passing over to Rhett Gordon, who tried to get it across to Ben Howard. Howard with it now at the right point. Passes down low, puck's behind the net. Jared Sheridan with it. Now Sheridan going around the back of the net. Clears it out. Minute left in the 5-on-3 for Indy. Here's Rumo. Skating to center. Back into the Hendersonville zone on the left wing side. Carries it to the end boards, around the back of the net. Comes out to the right wing. Trying to pass it in front. Now here's Rhett Gordon. Along the blue line, passing across, right circle. A shot from Rumo, missed the net. 30 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Puck put out in front and taken and cleared by Hendersonville. Rumo will track it down and backhand it ahead. Gavin Mitter with it now for Hendersonville. He'll send it back the other way. Here's Rhett Gordon, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Passing it over to Jacob Giblin. Hands it back to Gordon. Gordon with a shot. Stopped and covered up by Garrison. The 5-on-3 is done. 29 seconds left in the 5-on-4. 5:46 to go in the second. Indy's still up 2-1. So Connor Smith out of the box now. That leaves just Ulrich. Draw is going to be to the right of Garrison. Won by Indy. Backhanded out in front by Jacob Giblin. Stolen for a moment by Connor Smith. Landrick Majewski gets it back. A.J. Novak sending it down the wall to the inboards. Noah Collier with a big hit in the left wing corner. Puck cleared out, trickling through center back into the Indy zone. Ryan Hoverson gets to it before Colin Smith does. Smith tried to hit Hoverson. Hoverson stayed in his skates. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up. They're back at even strength. Jacob Giblin, a slap shot from center that Garrison had to turn away. Puck out at center. Here's Connor Smith. Back in the Indy zone. With a shot, score! Had a bit of a screen. It ends up in the right-hand side of the net. And Hendersonville have tied up the game again, 2-2. With 4:55 to go in the second. Connor Smith has both of the Commandos' goals. Draw one by Indy. Dylan Rosardi around the back of the net. Puck of the inboards. Hendersonville come up with it in clear. This will be an icing. Yes, it's going to make it past the goal line. Draw is to the left of Garrison. Won by Hendersonville. Ryan Steno sending it around the boards to the far side. Puck cleared out. It's back in the Indy zone. Ryder McDonald in the right wing corner, sending it around to the near side, and Jacob Hill is just going to chase it out to center, but Justin Shaver jumps in front of him and takes it, but McDonald got hit in the right wing corner, and that's drawn another penalty against Hendersonville. It's going to be Gage Salami going to the box. Roughing. So Independence return to the power play. Game tied at 2, 4:06 left in the second. Draws to the left of Garrison. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Jared Sheridan. Trying to get ahead to Colin Smith. Deflected away from him by Camden Rumo. Puck's in the Indy zone. Rumo. Now Colin Smith comes around to the right wing side. Puts it in front, but Connor Smith couldn't get a stick on it. Here's Rumo. Right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Puck taken away and cleared. Ryder McDonald with it at center. Over to Rhett Gordon. Puck back in the Hendersonville end. Wyatt Lutkins trying to go to the front of the net. He got pushed off by Jared Sheridan. Tried to clear, held in on the right, our left wing side by Rhett Gordon. Now Rumo at the left point, passing back down to Gordon. Passing it down low to the inboards. Tried to put it out in front. Jared Sheridan whacking away at it, trying to get it out. Puck still in the zone. Sheridan tried to clear it with his hand, held it at the left point by Rumo, and his shot hit a stick and goes into the netting above the glass. 66 seconds left in the power play for Indy. 3:11 to go in the second. Game still tied at 2. And the official coming down to put the Indy net back in place. Draw is to the right of Garrison. Under a minute left in the power play for Indy. Here's Nate Luke. Clearing it out of his zone, back into the Indy end. Connor Smith knocked into the boards, but comes out with a puck. On the left wing side. Drops it back down low. Now on the far side, A.J. Novak. Fires it up the far boards. Wyatt Lutkins back into the Hendersonville zone. Now Rhett Gordon, under 30 seconds left of the power play for Indy. Leaves it for Bryson Patton, and his shot is turned away by Tree Garrison. Now Ryan Hoverson from the right wing corner. Passes to the inboards and Rhett Gordon. Back up top to the right point, and Lutkins just starts moving along the blue line and then passes back down low to Gordon. Gordon drops it back down to the inboards. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up there back at even strength. It's cleared out. It's in the Indy zone. Caught up to by Patrick Sullivan. Back in front, Colin Smith. One times it over the net. And Behringer had backed into the net and dislodged it. They're going to make him pull it back into place himself. And finally they blow the whistle because he didn't do a very good job of putting it back in place. 1:47 to go in the second. Game still tied at 2. Draw is going to be to Behringer's right. It's won by Hendersonville. Trying to keep it in the zone. Landrick Majewski's going to clear it out. Now Dylan Rosardi, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Pushed off the puck. Comes up to the right point. One-timer from Rumo. I don't know if that got to Garrison or not. Pass to center, intercepted by Rumo, and he'll send it back into the Hendersonville zone. Gavin Metter backhanding the puck through the air, back to center. Picked up by Rumo inside his own zone. He flips it through the air the other direction. And then it's flicked ahead by Patrick Sullivan. Puck back in the Indy zone, but cleared out by Rosardi. Final minute of the second. Puck back in the Hendersonville zone. Jared Sheridan will track it down. Sheridan carries to center. Ahead for Cole Ulrich. Ulrich. Now Patrick Sullivan, and it poked away, but he gets to it. Tried to backhand it over to Merrick Mott. Ryder McDonald with it now. Sends it around the boards to the near side. Here's Evan McAllister. Ahead for Bryson Patton. Went off his stick and back into the Hendersonville zone under 30 seconds left in the second period. Here's Patrick Sullivan. Puck back in the Indy zone. Merrick Mott left circle. Backhands it towards the front of the net. Knocked down by Berger, and the rebound sent past the front of the net by Gavin Metter. And then the puck put in front for Sullivan, and he gets off a shot that Behringer stops and holds on to. Got it in the glove. 11 seconds exactly to go here in the second. Game still tied at 2. Draws to Behringer's right. Draw one by Hendersonville. A shot blocked. Then a backhanded try from Justin Schaefer. A stop by Behringer. Rebound still loose, and time runs out on the second with a crowd in the crease. Then Bryson Patton with a shove on Schaefer, and official having to jump in and separate the two. And looks like Schaefer's going to go to the box, and so's Patton, so they're both going to go to the box. Rhett Gordon and Connor Smith with the goals in the second period. And this Henry Hine Cup elimination game between Independence and Hendersonville-Beech is tied at 2 at the end of 2. So coincidentals against Patton and Schaefer. Looks like a pretty intense game. Wouldn't be surprised if it went to OT. I know that the parents' hearts couldn't handle OT because, you know, your kid's a goal away from their season ending. And if you're a parent of a senior, your kid's a goal away from potentially seeing their hockey career end. And, you know, you've been watching them play since they were a kid, and you're not going to get that time back. Tree Garrison still in goal for Hendersonville-Beech. Jack Behringer still in goal for Independence for this third period. Independence will carry the puck towards me. Hendersonville will carry it away from me. Of course, since it was coincidentals, we remain 5-on-5, and Schaefer and Patton will be released after the first whistle. Under 12 minutes left in regulation. Draw one by Independence. It's in their zone. Rhett Gordon with it behind his own net. Passing ahead to Ryan Hoverson. Hoverson gets it into the Hendersonville zone. Ryan Collier will track it down. Avoids a hit from Hoverson. Here's Connor Smith. Now Gideon Drobnik, right wing side of the Independent zone. Drobnik sends the puck to the front of the net. I don't know if it got to Behringer or not. There's going to be a penalty here. Nate Lucas shot. Gloved and held on to by Behringer. There's going to be a penalty here against Indy, it looks like. Ben Howard to the box for roughing. So Hendersonville getting a power play. 13-17 left in regulation. Game tied at 2. Draw's going to be to Jack Behringer's left. Draw one by Hendersonville, and a one-timer from Connor Smith whizzes past the net. Smith keeps the puck alive at the left point. Passes over to Gavin Metter as one-timer off the left leg pad of Behringer. Colin Smith now on the right wing side. Back up top, Metter. Moves along the blue line a bit. Passes back down low to Colin Smith. Back up top, Metter at the center point. Metter, a shot turned away by Behringer. Oh, and the rebound fumbled by Merrick Mott. And then he got knocked down by Camden Rummo. Puck cleared out by Dylan Rosardi. He doesn't have a stick. He used his hand. Brought back into the left wing side by Connor Smith. Over to Coleridge, who one-times it into the back of the net from the right circle. And Hendersonville have their first lead of the game. They convert the power play. 12:40 to go in regulation. It's 3-2 Commandos. And the official at the bench talking with the Hendersonville assistant coach. I'm not sure what about. I'm not sure what's holding up the game here. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Gavin Metter. Ahead to Connor Smith. Tips it towards the Indy blue line. Here's Cole Ulrich taking another shot. Stopped and held onto by Behringer. Draws to the right of Behringer. One by Hendersonville. Gavin Metter, shot through traffic. Stop, rebound, Connor Smith, score! He's got a hat trick! Smith hammers the rebound into the back of the net to complete his hat trick and extend Hendersonville's lead to 4-2 with 12:22 to go in regulation. So just 18 seconds after the Commandos take the lead, Connor Smith gives them a buffer. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Gavin Metter. Passing across. Now Rhett Gordon bringing it back into the Hendersonville zone. He's in space. His shot slowed up by the stick of Cole Ulrich. Rhett Gordon is not a guy you want to see coming down the slot at you. Believe me. He's big, but he is fast and he can shoot hard. Puck back in the Indy zone at the end boards. Is Rhett a senior? Oh, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. Good. He and Braden McCandless, or former Indy player Braden McCandless, are so much alike as Indy committed icing. They're big, but they're fast and can shoot the hell out of the puck. 11:33 to go in regulation, 4-2 Hendersonville. Draw is going to be to the right of Jack Behringer. One by Indy. They clear it out. Dominic Harpole ahead for Gage Salome who gave it away. Evan McAllister, the puck taken away. Puck back in the Indy zone. Caught up to by Camden Rimo, who's scored the very first goal of this game. Oh, high stick by Gage Salome, and now there was one of those you touch it, no you touch it, no you touch it, no you touch it contests at center, and the officials don't let it last too long and blow the whistle and hold up the high stick. 10:55 left in regulation, still 4-2 Hendersonville. If Indy come back, tie this game, and we go to the, and it's, or let me rephrase that, or say it better, draw to the right of Garrison. If Indy come back, tie this game, and it remains tied at the end of regulation, we go to a 3-on-3, 5-minute sudden death overtime. Gage Salome clearing the puck out, Ryan Hoverson with it. And the puck shot into the Indy bench by A.J. Novak. Draws to Behringer's left. One by Hendersonville. Nate Luke shooting from the blue line. Hit a body in front. And Independents are going to end up icing it again. 10:25 to go in regulation. Still 4-2 Commandos. Draw to the right of Behringer again. One by Hendersonville, and the puck shot into the netting above the glass by Ulrich, whose goal stands to be the game winner right now. And I think they're saying it went off an Indy player on its way out, so they're going to drop it to Behringer's right again. Draw one by Hendersonville. Nate Luke along the blue line, into space. Got it over to Ulrich. And then the puck taken away and brought out. Here's Jacob Giblin, right wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Passes across, but Dylan Rosardi had to go chasing after it. Merrick Mott now, left wing corner. Over to Cole Ulrich. Ulrich out to center. Into the Indy zone on the left wing side, taking a shot, it's over the net. Puck on the near boards, now it's in the right wing corner, Merrick Mott. Behind the net, knocked down, he's drawn a penalty. Ulrich, as Tree Garrison being called to the bench for the extra attacker. Now the puck touched up by Indy, and it's going to be an elbowing call against a very unhappy A.J. Novak. So Hendersonville-Beech returned to the power play up 4-2 with 9:24 to go in regulation, and, well, Indy do not need to give up another goal here. Draws to Behringer's right. Draw one by the Eagles. 3 of Hendersonville's 4 goals have come on the power play tonight. The most recent one was not on the power play, the one scored by Connor Smith to complete his hat trick. Gavin Metter carries the puck into the Indy zone on the left wing side. Trying to get it down the wall. It's knocked away by Camden Rimo. He brings it out to center. Rimo into the Hendersonville zone. Pass across. Wyland gets a shot. Stopped it all by Garrison. Then he dropped it. And where is it? It's underneath him. He was laying on his back in the crease. There it is. It's under his legs. Woo. Close call there for Indy. 82 seconds left in their power play, 8:45 to go in regulation. Or close call for Hendersonville, excuse me. 82 seconds left in their power play, 8:45 to go in regulation. Still 4-2 Commandos. Draw to the right of Garrison. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Connor Smith. Carrying it through center. Into the Indy zone on the left wing side. Puck coming around to the near boards. Passed up top to Gavin Metter. Just kept it along the blue line. Sends it back down towards Colin Smith. Under a minute left in the power play for the Commandos. Colin Smith. Puck taken away and cleared by the Eagles. Eagles will make a change, a couple of changes. Gavin Metter will pick up the puck. Metter on the far side at center. Drops it back for Connor Smith. Smith into the Indy zone on the left wing side. Connor Smith carries around the back of it, puts it in front. Score! Colin Smith! Big brother to little brother. Converts the power play and extends Hendersonville's lead to 5-2 with 7:47 to go in regulation. So Connor Smith now with a hat trick and an assist. He is definitely player of the game. Unless something really changes here in the last 7:47. Puck in the Indy zone on the left wing side. Nate Luke falling down, still got it towards the front of the net. Wraparound try by Gideon Drobnik, stopped by Behringer. Here's Drobnik now on the right wing side, backhanding it towards the front of the net, off of Behringer's right leg pad. Nate Luke. Here's Patrick Sullivan, shot in the right wing, turned away by Behringer. Put the leg pads together, close the 5-hole. Now here is Nate Luke, a shot. Oh, took a deflection, came down to the front of the net. Behringer stops and covers. 6:50 left in regulation, still 5-2 Hendersonville. Draw is going to be to Behringer's left. Draw one by Indy. Here's Bryson Patton, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Ryan Steno gets the puck away from him. Puts him into the boards in the left wing corner. That's going to be a penalty against Steno. And Patton is still down as Guy Brooks is called off the bench. And the trainer also coming off. And the officials are going to talk. Patton back in his skates. Steno apologizing to Patton. Boarding 2 and 10. Or is it 5 in a game because Steno's leaving the ice? Oh, it's 5. Wow. So Steno heads back to the locker room. So he will, if Hendersonville win this game, he will miss their next game on Wednesday night. But if Hendersonville blow this lead and lose, he's a graduating senior, so that means his one-game suspension turns into a $100 fine since he can't serve that game. So Indy with a 5-minute power play, 6:35 left in regulation. They're down 5-2, and I'm surprised they're not pulling Jack Behringer. Draw to the right of Garrison, won by the Eagles. I mean, this is your season on the line. You got to take what you can get, and Connor Smith takes the puck away from Ryan Hoverson and clears it down ice. It's a 5-minute power play, and it's there until it's over. Score as many times as you want on it. Well, here's Jared Sheridan over to Gavin Metter. Passing it over to the far side, Sheridan. Sheridan trying to clear, and it goes out to center just off the stick of Hoverson. A.J. Novak trying to go back into the Hendersonville zone, pushed into the boards. 4 minutes left in the Indy power play as Gavin Metter clears. A.J. Novak will track it down. Here's Ben Howard, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. Stops and shoots. It goes across the front of the net. Puck back at center, Novak. Across to Camden Rimo, brings it back into the Hendersonville zone. Drops it back into the left point for Brett Gordon. Over to Ryan Hoverson, and his shot off the left leg pad of Garrison and over the net. Now here's Howard backhanding it to the slot. Colin Smith intercepts and clears. Here's Wyatt Lutkins. Lutkins, a shot hit the leg of Noah Collier, went past the net to the right of Garrison, and then the puck comes over the top of the net, lands out in front. Merrick Mott clears. 3 minutes left in the power play for Indy. Landrick Majewski back in the Hendersonville zone on the left wing side. Stops. Drops it up top, Brett Gordon, trying to get it back to Majewski, and off the stick of Nicole Ulrich, puck up in the air. Ulrich knocked down the big boy Gordon. Now Ulrich is a tall dude. He's about the same height, but man, he managed to get Gordon down. Shot scored from the slot. Landrick Majewski. Power play goal for Indy. They're down 5-3 with 4:01 left in regulation. 2:26 left in that penalty. Again, it's a major, so it doesn't come off until it's served. Hendersonville have killed off half of it, but actually, since Indy scored on it, that is considered a converted power play, even though it's not off the board until the time is served. And every time you score on a 5-minute power play, it counts as a conversion. So if you scored like 3 times on a 5-minute power play, you could have a power play percentage above 100 if you converted your other power plays. Camden Rimo, a shot blocked into the air and out of play by Tree Garrison. .208 left in that power play for Indy. Draw to the left of Garrison. And puck chased to center by Colin Smith. Smith, right wing side of the Indy zone. I don't know who that was that jumped in front of him and took the puck away just yet. Puck's at center. Under 2 minutes left in the power play now for Indy. I think it was Majewski that jumped in front of Smith. Now here is Jared Sheridan, shot, score! Jared Sheridan enters the Indy zone and from just below the left point fires it into the left-hand side of the net. A big shorthanded goal for Hendersonville. They go up 6-3 with 3:16 left in regulation, a minute 41 left on that power play for Indy. That may be enough, provided they kill off the last little bit. Or get through the last little bit without Indy scoring again, since Landrick Majewski scored on the power play, and that counts as a conversion. Ben Howard passing the puck across the front of the net. Nobody's there, and Colin Smith clears. So a hat trick for Connor Smith, Colin Smith with a goal, Cole Ulrich with a goal, and Jared Sheridan with a goal. And Connor Smith's third stands to be the game winner, by the way. Here's Wyatt Lutkins, left wing side of the Hendersonville zone. A shot blockered away by Garrison. As Connor Smith clears the puck out, down ice. Ryan Hoverson will track it down. 1 minute left in the power play for Indy. Oh, Wyatt Lutkins throwing Cole Ulrich down like he's nothing. Here's Ryan Hoverson back in the Hendersonville zone. Hands it off. Lutkins, a shot turned away by Garrison. Puck out on the far boards. Now here's A.J. Novak. Wyatt Lutkins backhands it back into the Hendersonville zone. Ben Howard over to Rhett Gordon. 30 seconds left in the power play for Indy. Gordon. Now here's Nate Luke in the right wing corner. Pinning it up against the kick plate. Knocks it away from Lutkins. Lutkins comes out in front with a shot, hit the outside of the net. Noah Collier putting it behind the net. Now here's Nate Luke, and Luke tried to fire it down ice. It hit Gordon, stayed in the zone. Shot from Howard, missed the net well to the right of Garrison. Ulrich clears. Penalty time against Hendersonville is up there back at even strength. They allowed just one goal on that 5-minute power play. They did a really good job, even though they gave up one, as a shot at the other end misses the net. Here's Gavin Metter. Over to Brent Landsberg, who gives it away to Rhett Gordon. Gordon with a shot over the Hendersonville net from the left circle. Ben Landsberg clears. Camden Romo at center. Steps back into the Hendersonville zone. Romo, a shot, hit it sticking over the net. Final minute of regulation. Here's Camden Romo. Over to Jacob Hill. No, I'm sorry, it's Landrick Majewski who leaves it for Rhett Gordon. Back across to Evan McAllister. 30 seconds to go in regulation. 6-3 Hendersonville. Gavin Metter sending the puck around to the far boards, held into the right point. Here's a one-timer from the center point, gloved and held onto by Garrison. That shot coming from Camden Romo, whose GNASH career is about to come to an end, but what a memory he has, scoring the Hine Cup goal, or Hine Cup winning goal in overtime 2 years ago against Father Ryan in the if necessary game. Forever a legend in Indy hockey. Draws to Garrison's left, 19.1 seconds to go. Draw one by Hendersonville. Here's Metter up, overskated it. Mason Brooks out on the ice. His shot stopped by Garrison. And then another shot stopped by Garrison. Puck comes up to the right point. Hoverson's shot blocked. Goes through center into the Indy zone. Time's going to run out. And the Hendersonville-Beech Commandos are still alive in the Henry Hine Cup. And they will play Wednesday night against the Outlaws USN loser. And Independence's season is over. The 7 seed out, joining Station Camp Liberty Creek as teams sent home from the Henry Hine Cup. Well, the good news for Ryan Steno is his definite one-game suspension for the boarding major is going to be served. It's not going to be a $100 fine, but what stinks for him is if Hendersonville lose that game on Wednesday night, that means he got kicked out of his last high school game. I'm sure he'll hoping they'll win and be playing on Monday the 13th in the losers bracket semifinal. As the handshake line, Steno awaiting his teammates as they come off ice and relieved that his major penalty didn't give Indy any momentum, even though they scored on that power play. All right, so as soon as I send this text out. All right, so the goal scorers for Independence, Camden Ramo, as some Indy and Hendersonville players are doing the old-fashioned soccer jersey swap at center, even though they can't take those sweaters with them. They got to give them back. So the goals for Indy scored by Camden Ramo, Rhett Gordon, Landrick Majewski. The goals for Hendersonville-Beech scored. Connor Smith had a hat trick. The others came from Colin Smith, Cole Ulrich, and Jared Sheridan. Connor Smith is our player of the game, hat trick. The third of those goals being the game winner. As Hendersonville-Beech win 6-3, sending Independence home for the rest of the winter, spring, summer, and early fall. Yeah. All right, let me just do a couple more things here. And then I will go over the schedule for next week. There we go. Just got a retweet from the MTSN GNASH scores. Twitter. Now I'm going to update the bracket that is on the MTSN website. All right. That has been updated. All right. So, Monday, Week 2, the 2023 GNASH postseason. Monday on Rink 1 in Bellevue, the Hine Cup winners bracket semifinal between 6-seeded Hendersonville and 2-seeded Nolensville-Ensworth-Lipscomb. 6:50 also on Rink 1, or as it's also called now, the Terry Crisp Rink. The Preds Cup winners bracket semifinal between NBA and Ravenwood. Again, the loser of that game plays Brentwood on Wednesday night. Over on Rink A here at Centennial at 7:40, Pope Prep CPA GCA against Mount Juliet Green Hill Evan, and the other Preds Cup winners bracket semi, and then the other Hine Cup winners bracket semi on the Crisp Rink and Bellevue, USNBA Nashville Christian against the Outlaws at 8:25. We're going to try and cover all three of those games on Rink 1 in Bellevue on Monday night. Wednesday, 7:10 over on Rink A here at Centennial. Father Ryan in a Preds Cup elimination game against the loser of Monday's game between Mount Juliet and Pope. 8 o'clock over on Rink 2 in Bellevue. Hendersonville-Beech in a Hine Cup elimination game against the loser of the Outlaws USN game. So that means now, next Wednesday night, a top 4 seed is going to be eliminated from both tournaments. Because at 8:30 here on Rink B at Centennial, Brentwood, the 4 seed, will face either the 3 seed NBA or 2 seed Ravenwood in a Hine Cup elimination game. And that's the game we're going to have for you Wednesday night. 8:25 pregame for an 8:30 face-off. And then at 8:40 over on Rink A here at Centennial, Summit Page in a Hine Cup elimination game against the Centennial Nolensville loser. Oh, by the way, forgot to do this. Independence. They are saying goodbye to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seniors. Wow. Ryder McDonald, Jacob Giblin. That's kind of a big loss on offense. Jax Grayson, Dylan Rosardi. That's kind of a big loss on like a second line. Evan McAllister, it's a big loss on defense. Braden Sizapaniak, Camden Rumo. That is the biggest loss of them all, probably. Camden Rumo saying farewell. Jack Behringer, well, they've still got Trent Pavlik and Catcher Grayson, so they're okay in terms of goaltending. Wyatt Lutkins, Jacob Hill, and another very big loss, Ben Howard. But those guys were a part of history 2 years ago, the Independent Spring Hill team that won the Henry Hine Cup in 2021 in that dramatic game against Father Ryan, that dramatic if necessary game. And, of course, Camden Rumo, like I said, he scored the overtime winner in that if necessary game. So he has a memory from his high school hockey days that he will treasure forever. Congratulations to those guys on their time in GNASH. Congratulations to them on graduating later this year. And good luck to them all in the future. And that's it. That is the first week of the 2023 GNASH postseason in the books. 4 teams have been kicked out of the party. This time next week, 4 more teams will have been kicked out of the party. We'll know who after Wednesday night, but what a week it's been. It's only going to get more dramatic from here. Again, plan on doing that triple header from Bellevue on Monday, and then on Wednesday we're definitely doing that Brentwood game against either NBA or Ravenwood, as a top 4 Preds Cup seed is going to fall, but a top 4 Hine Cup seed is also going to fall because Hendersonville-Beech having won tonight, the 3 seed are going to play either 1-seeded Outlaws or 4-seeded USN next Wednesday. So both tournaments are going to lose a top 4 seed. The crazy world we live in. Our final tonight, Hendersonville-Beech 6, Independence 3. I'm Michael Hackney. Thank you all so much for listening. Good night from Centennial. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday night from Bellevue at 5:10.